So in this episode, we're going to talk about the assertion that Maoism is a federal operation, and we're going to be talking about the common tactic known as Fed jacketing. So those who make this claim assert that Maoism, particularly Maoism within the United States, is a deliberate plot from the federal government to infiltrate, attack, and discredit socialism from within the movement. This is a baseless conspiracy that strives to paint all Maoists as traitors and feds who don't really believe their own theory, but rather are planted within communist parties and the wider socialist movement to destroy it from the inside. Of course, the government strives to infiltrate and attack the movement from within. Anyone who studies the history of labor organizing, student organizing, or any vaguely left-wing or socialist organization can see that infiltration is a common tactic from the bourgeois state. However, to universally apply a conspiracy of infiltration to Maoism is a way to attack and discredit Maoism as a tendency without having to debate Maoists on their theoretical framework or developments. This is a cowardly tactic which descends into conspiracies in order to avoid having to reckon with issues of line struggle, revolutionary fidelity, revisionism, and other problems. We have historical examples, of course, of government infiltration within Marxist-Leninist, Trotskyite, and Maoist parties, showing that infiltration is not limited to Maoism alone. We also have examples of the government willing to resort to assassination and all manner of state repression to avoid a burgeoning revolutionary movement within bourgeois society. No tendency or organization is completely immune to infiltration. This baseless accusation of being involved with the bourgeois state is known as Fed jacketing. It's a common smear tactic used by revisionists to slander their opponents. The irony being that Fed jacketing is a common tactic of infiltrators to sow the seeds of division and mistrust within the movement. Being aware of this fact, Maoists should avoid Fed jacketing unless there's substantial evidence to support this accusation. Admittedly, Maoists are capable of committing this error as well, and this is a problem that we have to be conscious of. It's possible to be a revisionist, to impede revolution, to be a wrecker and a factionalist in a way that ultimately supports the bourgeois state while not being directly an agent of the bourgeois state. Not every revisionist or wrecker is an infiltrator, but every infiltrator is a revisionist and a wrecker. Maoists are often the recipients and perpetrators of Fed jacketing remarks, and this is common among all left tendencies. Maoists must be conscious of the realities of infiltration while not being too hasty to accuse anyone and everyone of being an agent for the bourgeois state. This is simply a matter of discipline and evidence. Maoists may suspect an individual is an agent, but without sufficient evidence, this is just speculation. It can actually hamper the movement by Fed jacketing rather than criticizing a mistaken line, thereby rejecting a method which could improve our theory by attacking this mistaken tendency with baseless accusations rather than dialectically dismantling the incorrect line. In this manner, Fed jacketing becomes a sort of knee-jerk reaction, which avoids debate by replacing the dialectical process with conspiracies, which can easily be reversed. In doing so, no progress is made, division is sown, and the bourgeois state benefits. So that does it for this very short episode. Be sure to tune in next time where we discuss the concept of actually existing socialism from a Maoist point of view. It's going to be a doozy, everybody. So be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, Kang. Out.